Welcome back to Absolutely. My name is Benny, that is Dan, and that is Hassan. And there's nothing to talk about, so let's talk about Black Adam. Oh, you're going to pull that bit? That's the Sal bit. You can't do that, where you just pretend that you're frozen. You
it
can't
doesn't
do
work
that.
when your background's moving the whole
Yeah,
time.
that also, you have a Nimbus cloud moving back there, kind of throws the whole thing off.
Let's talk about Black Adam, a movie that I care for and will watch.
Who's our sponsors, though, Hassan? Who's our sponsors?
Today we're sponsored by the same sponsor from always. We're sponsored by G Fuel. Use code COMICS at checkout for 10% off. And also, guys, check out Benny's awesome shirt made by Into the AM.
Not this one. This is not on there. I already said that in the other video. Those are all in the wash,
Benny.
but the shirts are awesome.
Benny. God damn it. How dare you get on camera without an Into the AM shirt? None of the
they're
rest
all-
of us got any shirts, so we can't wear them.
I'm working on that.
No, guys, seriously, Into the AM makes fantastic looking clothing. I've been jealous of Benny ever since he started rocking them. He had some friends over, so everything is in the laundry. This is all a bit, but you should really check out the clothes they have there. They've been wonderful to sponsor us because we are excited to do this more and more. But let's get into the video. We're going to talk about Black Adam and the Justice League being cut from the movie.
Okay, so here's the situation. The Rock put out a trailer for Black Adam. In that trailer, it opens up with a speech about the heroes that have showed up in the DC universe, how the hierarchy is going to change because of a hero that showed up before everything. In that, they show clips from previous movies. And in that, there was a clip from Joss Whedon's Justice League. And the Snyderverse bros freaked out, as they do.
As they do.
Now, typically, this would mean nothing. The Snyderverse bros that are still clinging on to that. And for the record, Hassan hates Snyderverse. I love Snyderverse. So you got both sides of this token here on which one of it. But even I have to admit, I don't feel any like it's ever going to come back. But we're going to get to that in a second. So what ends up happening is they edited the trailer to remove the Joss Whedon Justice League scene. So now that is being considered a win for the Snyderverse, because why would they change the trailer if the Snyderverse isn't coming back?
It's the stupidest thing ever, because a win would be putting something from the Snyderverse movie into the trailer. All they did was remove the Joss Whedon one. They didn't say anything.
They didn't
or
put
do
in
anything
the
with
they didn't put
Snyder.
in the Snyderverse.
Yeah,
stuff.
they should have put in a scene that was in this aspect ratio, right? Just in the middle, in black and white, and it's 15 minutes of someone talking and nothing interesting happening.
So anyway, what do you two think is the reason? Because I have my own theories as what the reason is as they actually remove.
I mean, someone cut a trailer together because it's a promotional, and they put footage in it from the extended universe because it's how you tie things together to get people excited for stuff, so people know it is in fact related. Because The Rock is in 30 different stuff, and Black Adam has literally never been publicly it's never been in a live action movie, so
Yeah.
it's important to
They
say.
want you to realize DC.
Yeah, it's important to show the connectivity. This isn't a Marvel superhero, which for us we know obviously, but regular people don't know anything. So. That's why they did it, and then they cut it because it's not in the movie, so that there wasn't any reason to keep it in there. And the Snyderverse is never coming back because it's silly.
Well,
you guys are silly.
My opinion on Snyderverse is simply put, regardless of there being a fan base for the Snyderverse has been so divisive, so many problems. WB came out and said that they discovered fake accounts for promoting the Snyderverse. Things like this don't happen if your plan is to eventually bring back the Snyderverse. I think what they're trying to do is not bring back the Joss Whedonverse or the Snyderverse, get a nice happy middle ground where they get back the actors they want. And they just move forward and we just ignore everything that happened. That's what I think they're trying to do.
Right. I think a big reason they removed it was simply it's a lot easier to remove it and remove that from the news because you don't want Black Adam to be tied to Snyderverse and all of that bullshit. Like, you just want to go, no, this is Black Adam. It is its own thing. Oh, people are making a deal about it. Let's just nip this in the bud before it gets too big so that we don't get a whole Black Adam's part of the Snyderverse debate or anything like that. They just want it to be, this is Black Adam. None of that even matters. So
well, I think you're half
whatever.
right. I do think they wanted to get ahead of it because the trailer got dislike bombed over on YouTube and everything. Mm-hmm. So I think what they wanted was not just to have, okay, so Black Adam needs to be like the big DC hit. We need people to associate it with DC. We need people to want to go see it. So we need DC and The Rock to be associated so that we can launch this potential restart of the DC universe. I think it was removed because if you're dislike bombing it, then people are going to go, oh, well, it doesn't look good or there's something in it I don't want to see. So it just looks bad on the movie. Right. By making an alteration, you are now placating Snyder fans who are freaking out. You're getting rid of the disliked video, and you're still getting the news out there. And now it's making headlines of they changed the trailer to accommodate the fandom.
Yep.
I don't think this means the Snyderverse is coming back. I stand by my statement. While maybe on some weird universe it will, there's too much baggage with the Snyderverse for them to actually bring it back full steam, rehire Zack Snyder, do all that. They're not going to do that, I don't think. I mean, I didn't think Zack Snyder would ever get to finish his movie, which to this day, even though I am a Snyderverse fan, I still say he didn't, because if his movie was done and he was going to release his version, he didn't need $70 million more to reshoot it. Anyway.
Yeah, they got the Snyder cut. They can just move on now. I think it's time to just have closure. And it maybe down the road, Snyder will get an animated series that is that. That could be cool.
Yeah.
That could be really something fun. But I don't think you should give this guy $200-300 million to do his sadistic version of characters until we've established our actual tried and true DC heroes. Because
Well, that
at
was
that
my
point,
argument
right,
back in the day. I love the Snyder version, but it'd be like making Injustice the only timeline. Like, people are going to hate on that no matter what.
I think it would be way more fun. You circle back, you make some tried and true DC movies for like a decade, 5-7 years, whatever, right? And then you could do Snyderverse as an Elseworlds, and maybe there could be a multiversal crossover. And then whatever you really love in Snyderverse, maybe we'll like it more. Maybe they'll hire some random blonde dude to be Aquaman. No, they won't. But like, and then like, I want this guy to be back. So. They could do it, but if you want Snyderverse to be the only thing and to be the definitive thing, you're shit out of luck, and that's going to be really, really hard. Like it's a nihilistic universe. You're trying to compete with everything else in the marketplace, and people are enjoying campy, jokey, funny, but also like endearing stories where you get to sit and resonate with characters. Yeah. Snyder's like, well, no, you resonate with them after you hate them. No, man, they gotta
this
like
is
them
your
first.
opinions on Snyder again, but.
Well, he wanted Superman to become Superman in 3 movies.
Yeah.
Which Superman should be Superman in movie 1. And
I disagree.
if you want him to do other things later.
You know why? Marvel decided to make 3 movies to make Spider-Man Spider-Man.
I would say he had
was
the heart
Spider-Man in the first movie.
I would say he had the heart of the character the whole time. I think that they gave him more of like a gave him a tragedy at the end, but he had the heart of like young Peter Parker and like the energy of it and the great power and
responsibility. But they changed everything. They altered it all. He didn't even swing to the cities. Their purposely goal was to make it not like a Spider-Man movie.
I mean, he didn't swing to the cities in the last one.
Spider-Man. All I'm saying is 3 movies to create a superhero could work. It does work for Spider-Man.
I don't think it's like if Spider-Man's core values are great power, great responsibility. If we opened with a Peter Parker who's taking advantage of his powers and is the football star of Midtown High, and then he ends up through the 3 movies becoming like, no, I'm Peter Parker, I would agree with you fully. But I think that's what Superman was in this one. It was like, here's Superman without the Superman characteristics, and then it became Zack Snyder's plan, which I think is a cool plan. Like, I would love to see that adapted. Just, I don't think that should have ever been the mainline situation with Superman. Yeah. That's my take on it. And obviously, we have very differing opinions.
I was going to say, regardless of what, this is 2 totally different opinions, because that's we just how it was handled. That's all this is going to be. Before the chat goes crazy, it says we're not friends anymore.
Huston and Benny are always fighting. They hate each other. Benny hired him, but he regrets hiring him. But Huston needs the money, so he's begging Benny to stay on staff.
Wow, you're like adding layers to this. We have
have you not read those comments? I've read the comments.
We have AMD lore now.
Yeah, we got a fanfic going. Jeez.
He even bought a fake gold play button from Etsy. Obviously, that's not his own.
Are you okay, Huston? I feel like we got to talk you through some things after all this.
Man, at some point, these comments are grinding my gears, man.
Dan, what were you going to say?
I was going to say another thing about this. I think part of it is the Snyderverse and kind of getting away from that, but I think there's also an aspect of this where the Black Adam movie does seem to be listening a lot to the audience and like the comments and stuff like that, because there was another change to the trailers where they changed the lighting, that there were a lot of fans saying they weren't a big fan of how dark and how it had like a weird yellow tint to all the scenes in the first trailer. And if you look at them side by side, the second time that they came out with it, it was brighter. The yellow tint was gone. It was like you can see these smaller differences. And I think based on the fact that they've also been doing some test screenings, The Rock's been there, like asking the people their opinions and for changes. I think they're taking a big note from the fans, the viewers, to actually make these changes before it comes out. And I think that was simply just one of those things that was also attributed by the fact that it was also the Snyder. So I think there were 2 reasons, but I think one thing here is the fact that they are listening to the fans and going, hey, people want to see brighter colors, like a bigger yellow without everything having a weird like shader on it, like an Instagram filter. Like, no, they want like just a good looking film, and they're listening to it and they're changing it.
I agree. I think that's what they're basically doing. I think because we haven't had a DC film in a while that wasn't a part of the Snyderverse, they're going out of their way to take any criticism and make an alteration to it.
Yeah.
Now, will this make a better movie? We'll see in the end. But I mean, they could be going too far with it. They could be, you know what I mean, like altering
that
too
is
much.
that's a big one.
So for you guys, do you have a lot of background with Teth Adams, Black Adam, like in the comics and stuff? Like, is he a character that you guys have kept up with over the years? Like, I don't
to keep
read
up
a ton
with.
of.
I know a decent amount from him
literally
over the
nothing to
past
keep up
couple
with.
years that they've done since the movie was announced, so that they've fleshed
that is
him
all
out a
they've
bit.
done. They pushed him out. Now he's in the Justice League. Now he has a prequel. Now, before that, he barely existed. He was a villain for Shazam, who in the last 10 years, when The Rock first started talking, was kind of converting over to like more anti-hero, just really looking out for his own nation.
Yeah. I know that he was a big part of the Injustice 2 game, and then in Young Justice, he got a couple references, like when Black Lightning is talking about all the heroes who've become villain over the years. He like opens with, "This isn't gonna happen again." Geoforce, Teth Adams, and he's like listing people, but he lists Black Adam as one of those. But they don't show anything about it.
They never do. Yeah.
I just want to make sure, because I'm the furthest disconnected. So I know when I heard the announcement of this movie and everything, I didn't care, and honestly, like I'm gonna go see it because I think it'll be interesting. But I'll wait till like the reviews come out first weekend, whether I'm gonna go see it in theaters or watch it later, unless Benny wants me to review it, and then I'll watch it.
Well, yeah, maybe you could join us for that one.
But yeah, I've definitely gotten on a thing of like, it's weird that we're making movies about characters that are so uninteresting. That said, hey, Marvel did it to such great success. Who cares about C tier Iron Man? And now Iron Man's like the heart and soul of like an entire universe. So,
well, I wouldn't say he so much like wasn't interesting. They just didn't do much with him because of the fact that he did only have the one shtick of, hey, I am insanely powerful, but as long as you don't come near my country,
and that was how they
issue.
handled it. And they would just avoid the country overall.
Yeah.
For those who are wondering what his actual history is, he was introduced in 1994, and he got a revised origin. He then popped in and out of JSA series. He was in a couple of those. He was in Infinite Crisis. He showed up in week 12 of 52. He then was in World War III. Final Crisis, he pops up in a single issue to assist. He pops up to assist the JSA. In New 52, he barely existed, but he got revamped into his origin. And then as of 2016, he actually is a reoccurring character beyond, there's Black Adam!
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
question,
oh, guys, what would we ever do? Oh, it's Black Adam!
do we think this is going to be a Dwayne The Rock Johnson acting movie, or is it going to be Dwayne The Rock Johnson, like they're going to mold the character to be who he is? Because, you know, a lot of times maybe like if you watch Fast Five, right, his character Hobbs is very specific. He's got a little bit of a Louisiana twang to him, and he has a goatee. And then by the time you're at Fury 6, he's Samoan. He's Samoan, he's got tattoos, and he's bald, and he's Dwayne Johnson now. Like they've totally... it's like Flanderized, but it's The Rock eyes. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's going to be a terminology for it down the road. Do we think it's going to be like Dwayne? And I think The Rock is very capable. He's a very capable actor from like a lot of his earlier films. Do we think he's going to be acting as that character, or will he be defining that character's characteristics? How do you guys feel about it?
I think that this, from the sounds of it, this seems like it's his attempt at going, not that. It not being... The Rock is Black Adam. I think this is going to be a chance for him to truly show range and be like, no, like I can be a character without making it The Rock, like you're saying with the other character. I think he's actually going to go for truly being the character and not turning the character into him. If I'm understanding what you're saying.
That gets me more.
correctly.
No, that's absolutely what I was thinking.
Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I want to know your opinions. Why do you think they cut it out? And do you think this is a sign we're getting the Snyderverse back? We've given you our opinions, and I'd love to see his original vision go out. I don't, what was leaked about Justice League 2 and 3, I don't think that would succeed, but I'd love to see it on screen.
I'd love an animated
Lois
Snyderverse.
cheating on Clark with Bruce? I would love to see how that plays out.
Oh my God, that would be insane.
Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed today. We'll see you next time right here at Absolutely Marvel in DC.